Hello, hello. Hello to those who are watching live. Hello to those who are watching the replay. I am Melissa of Melissa Goes Abroad. I am a Haitian American who left South Florida, who left the United States, and moved to France in my mid 30s. And today I wanted to talk about some of the fears that may hold us back from moving abroad. These are some of the fears that I also experienced on my journey, on my quest to finally get to France. If you find the information helpful or entertaining, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you will be notified of any new videos. Appreciate it. All right, so let's get started. And in the comments, if you could tell me if you resonate with any of these fears or if these are fears you've experienced yourself or other fears that you have that are maybe stopping you from living your dream of moving abroad. All right. So, one thing is the fear of the unknown. So, we are creatures of comfort, right? You're living at home in your city and you know where the best burger joints are. You know where to go get your tires changed. You know where to go get the best deals on clothes or shoes. You have your favorite hangout spot and then to all of a sudden be uprooted and in a new country where not only are they speaking another language, but now you don't know where anything is. Everything is unfamiliar. That can be such a big shock to the system. So I totally get why fear of the unknown can be such a hurdle. Sometimes we might feel like, isn't it better to just stay where I live and then I'll go visit the other country? Actually, visiting the other country is a good way to get over that fear of the unknown because once you go over there, you're probably like, oh, this isn't that bad. Okay, this is where the locals go shopping for groceries. This is where they go when they want to go dancing on Saturday nights. So, visiting the country is an option. Um, Joining groups of other expats on Facebook, for example, and they can help guide you in where the local spots are. It's another way to do that. Let me know if fear of the unknown is something that's holding you back. Another thing is the isolation, being alone, feeling lonely. This was a huge one for me, and I'm still dealing with it now because I moved by myself. My daughter is still back in the US, and I don't have any family or friends here. So this I didn't think it was going to be such a big deal until I actually moved here and I've experienced it especially during the winter when everybody's kind of in their place in their house, and I've also been hibernating winters. I'm not a winter person. um, so being alone, feeling isolated, not having a support network can definitely hinder you from moving abroad. How to deal with that? How I'm dealing with it? For example, I've joined meetup groups of expats and French people, and I've started to make friends. So like people are like, "Hey, Melissa, haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing?" That warms my heart. That's like, okay, there are people out there who will know to look for me if they haven't seen me in a while. Like I won't be something won't happen to me in my apartment and there's nobody looking for me. I've joined expat Facebook groups, expats in France Facebook groups, and I've met people through there. Um, Also, dating apps, that's a way also to overcome loneliness. Um, so the thing is to realize you will feel lonely, sure, but that's temporary. It's not going to last forever. And then I choose to see it as, does the momentary discomfort outweigh the future benefits of living in my dream country? And for me, yes, it does. Um, there are also language and cultural barriers. So if you're moving to a country where they don't speak your native tongue, that can be difficult. It feels like, and I came here, I hadn't already had an intermediate level of French. And for me, even with that, it was difficult to express uh, everything that I wanted to express. I'm used to being able to express complex ideas and thoughts in English. And here, trying to do it in French, it was so frustrating. I felt like I was a baby again, like a baby who's just learning to speak and you don't have the vocabulary yet to express what you want to say. It's so frustrating. And simple things like going to the post office, going to the grocery store can be exhausting because you're thinking in another language and you're like, how do I say this? How do I say this? And just that mental all that thinking is like mentally exhausting. By the time I leave the grocery store or the post office, I'm like, oh, I'm done for the day. I'm staying in bed for the rest of the day. But I will say, learning to taking some language classes before coming, like one-on-one tutoring, um, is helpful. The best way for me though to learn, and I've had some other videos on my channel, is by watching French series and shows, series and movies. That helps, and listening to the music. That helped me more than like, for sure I needed the basics, but that helped me more than like going to a course, if I'm honest. Also, I'm not gonna lie, dating people here helped because they would speak to me in French, and then I got used to hearing French all the time. So another way to say that is immersion. So once you get here, I think it's important to know the basics, but then once you get here and you're immersed in the culture, you'll be amazed at how quickly you pick it up. So I went from speaking like a low level intermediate French when I got here to now I'm like upper intermediate advanced, I would say. Actually, I took the test. So I'm like advanced French. So the immersion, I cannot deny it, is huge. So that's another example of just leaping into it. So it's scary, but once you make the leap, you'll be better for it in the end. Oh, money. That is scary because why? We need money for everything. We need money to buy our plane ticket to come here. We need money to ship our stuff. We need money to find a place to stay. We need money to eat. And so all these things. And okay, so when you're back home, you're like, oh, I can apply for a job. I can find somebody to hire me. Um, Relatively easily. Now you're like in another country, you're like, I don't have my network here. They speak another language. I don't know the etiquette. They do CVs instead of resumes. Uh, I don't know if I can take my job overseas. How do I make money while I'm abroad to support myself? Valid question. Money makes the world go round. We all need money. Um, what are some ways to overcome this fear? You can pad up your savings before leaving, which I recommend anyway. Even if you have a job lined up, having more money is never a bad idea. But while abroad, if you work for a company that will allow you to transfer to their local branch in the city you're considering moving to, or maybe you can find a job that allows you to work remotely wherever, or you can do, for me, which is my favorite, create your own business. You're the boss and you work your own hours, and work doing something you enjoy doing. um, so I think with money, it's a mindset thing. Once we decide that we're going to move abroad, there will be opportunities that pop up. I promise you. If it doesn't work out, you can come find me. um, the last fear that I wanted to talk about is not knowing where to start. And this is a big one because like you have in your head, like, okay, for example, I want to move to France. But how? What do I do? Which visa do I get? How long can I stay? I said, where am I gonna live? my kid? Where are they going to go to school? All these things. Like, how do I get around? So many questions. And if it's like you're starting really from scratch and you're like, there are so many countries. I don't even know where I want to move to. What do I do? Help. And what I would say, and I'd say the solution to all these problems, you can tell me if you agree or not, is number one, to make a decision. Make the decision that you are going to do it. So you say, self, I am moving abroad. Haven't picked the date yet, but I am moving abroad and I am doing this, right? Once you make the decision to do it, and I'm saying this because this is the case in this was my own experience. Once you decide to do it, the opportunities and the ways to do it present themselves. So, for example, I first came to France for the first time in 2017. While I was there, I woke up and I saw like this French rapper on TV, and I was like, I didn't even know they had like black rappers in France. I know, ignorant. And I was like, you know what? I'm really enjoying my time here. I'm gonna stay. But I'm like, how do I do that? And instead of being closed off and be like, no, that's impossible, because I was like, I have it before. It's like I have a kid. I was married at the time. I'm like, I can't move abroad. I can't do it. But do you know what as soon as I said, how can I instead of I can't, opportunity ideas came to my head. Like I saw Onika the Traveler, and I was like, okay, she moved abroad by teaching English. Maybe I can teach English. When I got home, I was scrolling the computer, and one of the very first posts I saw, somebody posted on Facebook about the TAPIF program, teaching assistant program in France, where they pay you to come and work in France in the local schools, teaching your native tongue for 7 months. I was like, say what? That sounds perfect. And they had recently just increased the age limit to 35. Before, I think it was 30. And I was like, look at you, universe, looking out for me. Now I can move there and do it. Um, and this program has been around for a while, but I didn't see it until I decided that I was going to move to France. Um, and once I decided, everything fell into place after that, I promise you. Um, so what I'm trying to say is, so that TAPI program led to me. I'm not here doing TAPIF anymore, but I'm here on another visa. And it was because, like, once I decided to move, the first opportunity presented itself, and then the second opportunity presented itself. And moving here, I kid you not, was so fast. It was like a whirlwind. It was scary. I decided to make a permanent move here. I said December. I was like, I'm gonna move in February. So 2 months later, and I kid you not, 2 months later, February 6th, I took the plane. February 7th, I landed in France. So the first thing, if you have fears holding you back, we're always going to have fears. That's normal, right? Our body, our subconscious is trying to protect us. That's normal. We're always going to be afraid. But once you decide to feel the fear and do it anyway, I love that book, by the way. If you haven't read it, by Susan Jeffers, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, you should read it. Once we decide that we're going to do it anyway, that's when the doors start opening up. So we've decided, right? Then what? Action. And it's not, I know it can be overwhelming not knowing where to start, but the first action step is to make a plan. So we decided we're going to move abroad. Now you make the plan. And the plan can be as simple as, for example, if you don't know where you're going to move, make a list of what you're looking for in a new country. Like, what type of weather are you looking for? You're looking for a beach place? Are you looking for a place where there's a lot of, I don't know, a lot of Black people? Are you looking for a place where you have kids, so the schooling is important? Are you looking for a place where it's central, so it's easy to travel to other places, or it's easy to get back to the US? So you make your list of requirements. So let's start there. You make your list of requirements, and then you do research. So you can post in Facebook groups for expats, or Facebook groups for people in a country you're considering, right? Type which countries have meet these requirements. Ask ChatGPT and you start there. And then once you start there, you research the country, you research the different countries, and then you're like, I like this one. You can do a scouting trip to go there, see what it's like, do some more research, and then you go from there. So, what I'm trying to say is you may not know all your steps, but taking that first step will lead to the next step, which leads to the next step, which leads to the next step. And then before you know it, you're landing in your new country, getting leaving the airport, ready to live the life you never thought you could live, ready to live the life that a few months ago was just a dream. So, what I want to say is actually, I want to leave you guys with this quote, and I love this quote so much. So, it's from Mary Oliver's poem, The Summer Day. And she says, tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? We've got one life, y'all. For me, dying with regret would be the saddest thing ever. So if moving abroad is on your list of things that you want to do, I'm here to encourage you, go for it. And if you're like, yeah, I hear you, Melissa, that all sounds nice. It was easy for you, blah, blah, blah. Um, I still want help. I understand. I understand. Um, and I wanted to tell you that I am launching a new coaching program called Ready, Set, Move Abroad. And in this coaching program, I work with my clients and we go from the visioning process to the final details of moving abroad, to like when you're buying the plane ticket, organizing the things back home, money. We discuss all of those things to make you 100% ready for your move abroad. So we set up a game plan so that you can move abroad. Even if you're not ready to move now and you just want your plan in place, we can talk about that and I can help you. It's the new launch of my program, so I'm super excited. And I have slots available in my calendar if you want to talk about your struggles and your motivations for moving abroad, and you just want some clarity on and what you can do next. I got you. In the description, you'll find the link to set up a call with me. And we can go from there if that's something that you're interested in. But in any case, I would love to hear what are the fears that are holding you back, because my mission really is to help aspiring expats move abroad. Life is too short to live a life that we don't love. I want you to live a life that you love. So, thank you for watching. This was my first live, by the way. So thank you. And leave, like I said, leave your what is your number one struggles or what is holding you back from moving abroad in the comments, and I will respond. I love interacting with you guys as always. So I'm wishing you a good rest of your Sunday and have a good week. Bye bye.